This is the news from Trek Zone. And you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes info and first-play access to all Trek Zone podcasts by becoming a member today. Click join on every Trek Zone video on YouTube. Go to thetrek.zone/support or scan the QR code on screen throughout the show. Now, it's back to you, Matt.
Thank you very much, Ross. And a quick mention of our socials, Trek Zones on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and your favourite podcast feed. Find us, like, follow, and subscribe. Leave comments and ratings. That'll help us convince the almighty algorithm we're worth it. It is the 44th week of 2021. The news has been off for a few weeks, so let's catch up on the latest Star Trek production news. The new head of Paramount Pictures has been talking extensively about Star Trek for the first time since taking over in September. Brian Robbins has discussed the development of multiple Trek feature films, including an animated adventure, telling The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "Where we go with the franchise next theatrically is crucial to the health of Star Trek. There's no doubt that a big theatrical movie are the beacon that ignite franchises. We're in it, and I don't really have anything to say because I'm waiting for the development to be delivered. I can't wait to get going on it, but we're not there yet. But we need to get there soon." The project, spearheaded by J.J. Abrams and WandaVision's Matt Shakman, was developed by Emma Watts, who joined the studio in 2020 and shut down the Noah Hawley Star Trek film, which was headed to pre-production at the time. But earlier this year, Watts and Abrams had also commissioned a script for a separate film project based on an original idea from Discovery writer Kalinda Vasquez. However, Watts herself has now left Paramount following the September management shakeup that resulted in Robbins taking over, so we can only assume that those projects that Watts was spearheading have also bitten the dust. That's 3 Trek projects in the space of 18 months being shelved. It is a tangled web, but it seems Robbins is making headway with the broom. We'll know shortly where things stand. The Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy and Horror finally held their 46th annual Saturn Awards after the nominees honouring the best in genre film and television were announced in March. Star Trek went into the evening with a total of 7 nominations and came away with 3 awards for Discovery and Picard. Discovery's 3rd season was recognised for Best Science Fiction Television Series, beating Picard's first, Doctor Who, Lost in Space, Pandora, Raised by Wolves and Westworld. That makes it 3 from 3 for the accolade for the series. Doug Jones was recognised as the Best Supporting Actor, beating competition from Jonathan Banks and Tony Dalton on Better Call Saul, Michael Emerson from Evil, Outlander's Richard Rankin, The Walking Dead's Norman Reedus, and Luke Wilson from Stargirl. And Sir Patrick Stewart came away a winner for his work on the first season of Star Trek Picard, beating Henry Cavill on The Witcher, Evil's Mike Coulter, Grant Gustin on The Flash, Sam Huygens on Outlander, Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft Country, and Bob Odenkirk on Better Call Saul. This makes 3 Saturn Gongs for Stewart, including 1 for TNG back in the 90s. Well, almost 3 years since it was first announced, Prodigy has launched with a double episode with reasonable fanfare in this blog's opinion. Honestly, I thought it was the strongest premiere we've seen in a long while from Star Trek. It knew the story it wanted to tell, the characters it wanted to set up, and left the kids in charge for the almost full 45-minute runtime, only revealing holographic Janeway at the very end. Australia's John Noble brought his characteristic flair with his voice performance, making me really want to learn more about the Diviner, and Jimmy Simpson's sublime performance as Dreadnought gave us equal amounts of menace and curiosity. It's fantastic we're not leading with humans or the Alpha Quadrant, and equally as fantastic that we're not being hit over the head with Trek references. This may be the kids' animated show, but it's acting as the grown-up when compared to Lower Decks. And that's not knocking Lower Decks. It knows what it wants to do, and it does it brilliantly. That's its niche. That's what it's doing. Right now, though, Prodigy feels very much like Rebels and Resistance from the Star Wars universe, and that may be a comparison that sticks as the episodes continue forward. The Trek Zone office was glued to the TV for the full 2-parter. We'll be back next week for sure. The iconic CSIRO Parkes radio telescope celebrates 60 years of operations as I record today's news. It's been a 6-decade period filled with discovery, resolving some big questions in astronomy and thousands of personal stories, all linked to the dish. Space Australia's Rami Mandow said it best, quote, "As Australians, we are known to have a deep connection and treasure homegrown things that make a big mark on the world stage. And when it comes to astronomy, nothing creates more of that warm, fuzzy feeling in your chest like when we hear about or look upon one of our most iconic instruments to have ever been developed, the CSIRO Parkes Radio Telescope. From aiding the video transmission of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin first stepping on the moon, to aiding researchers discover new wonders in the universe by radio astronomy, and so much more. Murrayung, as is its traditional Wiradjuri name, stands proud in New South Wales and has an important role to play in the years ahead. A reminder again, the TrekZone membership costs less than a cup of coffee a month. It's available via the join button below on YouTube. For our podcast listeners, jump onto the trek.zone/support. Supporting me grow this channel gets you first play access and behind the scenes goss. We're fast approaching the end of the 2021 season. So do it today and have my eternal gratitude. We're producing content right up to Christmas Eve this year in the ambitious plan of getting 350 podcasts produced. And yes, start thinking about the presents and the family gatherings because there's just 55 days to go until Christmas. I'm Matt Miller for TrekZone. I'm going to see you in the comments. Let's talk about everything that we've had today. And of course, can't end the show without a special tribute mention to Bert Newton, synonymous with Australian comedy and Australian television, passing away at the age of 83 in his home. A great loss for Australian television, and we will deeply miss him.